Hey, welcome back to Crimes and Closets. This is Christy in my closet in St. Louis.
And this is Beth in my closet in North Carolina.
What's up, Beth?
What's up?
Not a whole lot. Except my mom and dad just surprised me.
Yes. Showed up for the day. And her mama and I were talking yesterday, and she never said a peep.
Nope. Yep. Only my husband knew.
She did not spill the tea.
I know. I'm shocked that she didn't actually just
Me
tell you.
too.
Because she knows you wouldn't tell me. But yeah.
Right.
It's a good thing
I would not have.
Yeah. So that was a fun surprise. They're all vaccinated and they were ready to come on a trip. So they drove over here today. And it's my son's 15th birthday on Friday. So
the Beatmaster.
Yes, the Beatmaster. So anyway, anything else you got for me besides that exciting news?
No, I mean, can we talk about really quick, how much support we have gotten on like our social medias lately?
Yes. Yeah.
Messages and emails and voicemails with our tagline. And we are so into it. And we got a new graphic design, which is actually several from a friend of mine from high school.
Yeah. And they're totally awesome. Love them.
They are boss. Like truly the coolest things ever. So we're going to use them. Stay tuned
we're gonna
for that.
Out. Yeah. Awesome. Thank you so much. What's your name?
Brad.
Brad. Thank you.
Oh, Brad. Brad is an amazing artist.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I loved him. As soon as you sent it, I was like, what? That's amazing.
Yeah. I know. I messaged him and told him you liked him too.
Cool. Awesome. Great. Well, now he can hear it too.
Yes.
He's a listener.
A friend of the podcast. Send us your stuff, guys. We want to hear from you.
Yes. It makes us so happy because we know that you are invested in us.
Yeah.
You do that. So, yeah.
We're invested in you.
Yeah, we are. We are. Otherwise, we wouldn't be doing this anymore. No, I'm just kidding. We have fun with it.
It's crime fix too.
It is our crime fix.
Give it to me.
You ready? You ready for it? Because this one's a doozy. So I'm going to try and get through it quickly so that it doesn't end up being a long one, but we'll see. And it was a listener suggestion. So we, again, appreciate all of the requests that you have given us. And we can't make promises that we will get to them because sometimes we can't find enough information. But we always do our best to do that. I don't think we have had any that we haven't been able to do. But
true.
Anyways, this is a listener suggestion. And it is, in my opinion, one of the most tragic ones that I've looked into. Because they're all tragic in their own way. I mean, every one of them is tragic. But for some reason, this one just hit me a little bit different. So anyway, this is the story of Lindsay Cutshall and Jason Allen. Have you heard of them?
No.
No? Okay. So let's start with Jason Allen first. He was born May 16th, 1978. So we're same age. Well, would have been same age. In Edison, New Jersey. However, when he was still an infant, his family moved to Zeeland, Michigan, which is southwest of Grand Rapids, Michigan.
Okay, so that's near Canada.
Is it? I guess.
I don't know.
No, honestly, no. I don't know. I think it's a little bit further south because it's pretty close. It's also pretty close to Lake Michigan. And so when I was looking at the map, I feel like it was at the bottom of that, towards the bottom of that U. But I was zoomed in to see the city, so I didn't see the whole map of Michigan. But he completed completed school through high school in Michigan, and then he moved on to Appalachian Bible College in West Virginia.
Yay! Wild and wonderful.
Oh, is that what they say?
What?
Wild and wonderful?
Wild and wonderful West Virginia? Planet do you live in?
Sorry, I didn't know that one. My bad. Not yours, I guess.
Okay, nobody knows about us. It's fine. It is wild and wonderful, though.
Okay, I believe you. He graduated from there in 2001 with a bachelor's in Bible and a minor in Christian camp. He really had a heart for outdoor ministries. He loved all things outdoors, fishing, hiking, kayaking, all that fun stuff. He spent 8 summers working at multiple Christian summer camps in West Virginia, California, and even British Columbia. So he just went all over. Yeah.
Cool.
He was doing quite literally all the things that he loved. serving the Lord through outdoor activities for the youth in the world, which is very commendable. Love it.
Go Alan. That's During his name, right? Alan?
Well, that's his last name, Jason.
Jason. Go Jason.
During his time in West Virginia, around 2002, he met Lindsay Cutshall. Lindsay was born September 9th, 1981 in Fresno, Ohio, which is a small town sort of in between Columbus and Cleveland. Like I say sort of because it's not like directly, but it's between those two. She grew up and went to school right there in Fresno. Her dad was a pastor at a local church for 18 years. So clearly she grew up in a Christian household.
She's a PK. A preacher's kid.
Pastor's kid. Oh, yeah. Okay. Preacher's kid, pastor's kid. After graduating high school, she went on to graduate with her associates in Bible in 2003 from Appalachian Bible College. So they both went to the same school, but they weren't there together.
Oh, weird. Okay.
She enjoyed all of the same outdoor activities Jason enjoyed. So when they met, they were quite the perfect couple. They grew pretty close quickly because within 6 weeks, Jason was asking Lindsay's father if he could have her hand in marriage. And the blessing was given very quickly. The two were planning a wedding for September 11th, 2004, back in Fresno, Ohio, and Lindsay's father would be officiating.
Cute.
Yes, very cute. But before that would happen, they both had gotten jobs for the summer at Rock and Water Camp in El Dorado, California. So they planned to spend the summer there. And then at the end, towards the end of the summer, Lindsay would return to Ohio like mid to late August to finalize all of their wedding plans before Jason would come back. So I'm thinking that she was like leaving the camp a little bit earlier than she was supposed to, but just to kind of finalize those plans. Camp started in June of 2004, and the summer was full of fun outdoor activities, ministering to the groups of youth ages 8 to 18, according to their website. Now that was
Did you go to church camp as a kid?
I didn't. Oh, that I remember.
I totally did.
I mean, I know I went to camps, and maybe they were affiliated with church. I don't remember.
We always,
but not like this.
Like one time at band camp, and we would say one time at church camp. The flute thing did not happen.
Please, Lord.
Exactly.
So I checked out the website. So, and those are the ages that they cater to now. I'm just assuming that that's were the ages that they were catering to at that time. And I kind of wanted to go there, like looking at the pictures on the site, or at least the very least send my children there somewhere similar. So on Friday, August 13th, 2004, Jason and Lindsay attended a counselor meeting after whitewater rafting with a group of kids. They had told all the others that they were heading out for the weekend to visit friends in the San Francisco area. And this would be the last weekend that Lindsay was going to be spending in California, because then she was heading back to finish the wedding planning the next week. No one really knew if they had friends there or not, but no one really questioned that either. They packed up Lindsay's old red Ford Tempo, and headed up to San Francisco. They were due to come back to the camp by 5 p.m. on Sunday the 15th. So it was just going to be a quick, short little weekend trip. And it's about a 2-hour drive to the San Francisco area. And they left, some sources say between 6 and 8 p.m. and some say around 7, which fits with that 6 to 8 p.m. But nobody really saw them leave. They just knew they were packing up and headed out around that time. 2 days later, when they were supposed to be back at the camp and they had not returned, which was very strange, the camp called their parents to ask if they knew where they could be, and no one had any idea who they would be visiting or why they would not be back already. So they file a missing persons report on Monday, August 16th. They trace credit card transactions, and they can be placed at Fisherman's Wharf in San Francisco on the 14th, where Lindsay bought a bottle of hot sauce, which everyone's thinking was a present for her dad, because I guess her dad apparently liked hot sauce a lot. So It wasn't like an unusual, weird, oh, she bought hot sauce in this random place. And on Wednesday, August 16th, Monday, August 16th, right? Yes, that was the report. Wednesday, the 18th, there was a helicopter out over Fish Head Beach near Jenner, California, because they were looking for a hiker that was stranded in the bluffs in that area. And the helicopter spotted 2 like sleeping bags on the beach and like people sleeping in them. And you're not supposed to do that. So they called, to the police and said, hey, you got some people on the beach sleeping.
Squatters.
Yeah. So it turns out to be Jason and Lindsay.
Yeah.
On the beach they were found on is about 2 hours north of San Francisco. So they had like traveled quite a distance away from, San Francisco, where they said they were going for the weekend. So they questioned kind of like, well, why are they there? And when did they arrive and whatnot? Because when they found them, both of them shot in the head in their sleeping bags. 2 separate sleeping bags, I will say. So, and nobody knows why they were there, what they were doing there.
So at this point, they're 4 hours away from the camp?
Yes, they're 4 hours away from the camp and about 2 hours away from where they said they were going, because they said they were going to the San Francisco area. But clearly they don't have to like explain to anybody like exactly where they're going. So they could have just been like, we're just going to go away for the weekend. I'm going to San Francisco area, blah, blah, blah. Who knows? And maybe they just decided to keep going. I don't know. We don't know the answers to that. But when we get back from break, we'll find out a couple of answers at least.
Hey friends, if you haven't heard, Crimes and Closets is turning 1. For our special birthday episode, we decided to take to the listeners for you guys to choose our topic. And the winner is Family Annihilators. So join us next week where Christy and I will each give you a Family Annihilator case, and we'll be joined by our special guest, Aaron, who is a listener and by voting won our drawing to be a guest host with us. We can't wait for you guys to join us for our special birthday episode, and we can't thank you enough for listening and for all your support over the past year. So please join us next week for this special celebration and to clink a glass with us and wish us happy Potiversary. We'll see you in the closet.
Hi there, I'm Megan.
And I'm Danielle.
And we are Crime and Roses.
We are a true crime and Bachelor franchise recap podcast.
Yeah, we're both.
We are 2 Georgia attorneys watching and recapping all things Bachelor just for you.
So we're talking Bachelor, Bachelorette,
Bachelor in Paradise, Winter Games, Summer Games, all the games.
Basically any show that ABC comes up with and forces us to watch, and then we'll release a true crime episode connected to what we've seen on the show that week.
So if you don't like true crime, we have The Bachelor. And if you don't like The Bachelor, we have true crime.
And if you don't like either,
we're probably not the podcast for you, and that's okay.
So if you're into one of those things, both of those things, come check us out as we combine our 2 favorite things into one-stop listening shop for you.
So find us on your favorite podcatcher and on social media at Crime and Roses, and email us at crimeandroses@gmail.com.
Bye. Love you. Mean it.
Okay. So as police start looking into this case, they clearly know that they were in San Francisco the day before because they had followed already the credit card receipt transactions. They had also developed film that they had found in a camera, and they saw pictures of them by the Golden. They had taken like selfies by the Golden Gate.
This was a camera that was on their person?
Yes.
Okay.
All of their belongings were there.
Okay.
And they also have like several sightings from local stores and business owners that they had talked to. So some of them seem legit, but then some of them, there's people that know Jason and Lindsay say they didn't see Jason and Lindsay because one of the gas station, I think, attendants said that Jason was very rude and snooty. And they were like, there's no way that he ever acted that way towards anybody. So they can't be who they saw. But I don't know. That's who the gas station attendant said he saw. So anyway. And then there was a local board shop owner that remembered them coming in because Lindsay was looking at a necklace. And I think I read this, it was a small detail, so I don't remember exactly, but I'm pretty sure the guy gave it to Lindsay as a wedding gift because they must have been chatting. And so anyway, so that guy definitely saw them. And then there was a local inn where close to where they found that said they came in looking for a room, but because they were all full, they couldn't stay there. And they remember telling them, well, you can spend the night on some of the beaches here, and that's a common thing to do. However, the beach they found or went on was not one of those beaches that you should, and there were signs saying that, but apparently Apparently, it's also not uncommon for people to just do it when they felt like they wanted to. So nothing had been stolen from them. All of their belongings were
I bet
left
that
there.
woman feels terrible, by the way. Side note, for being like,
That
go stay
there
the night on a beach. We don't have a room.
I know, right? No room at the inn. Yes, it was definitely described at as a local inn, and so that like definitely connection.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway,
they're just like Jesus.
Yeah. So nothing was stolen. All their belongings were left there. Lindsay's car was found parked close by with no evidence of being tampered with. And Lindsay even still had jewelry on, and I think including that necklace that the shop owner had given her. And so they're not thinking that this is a robbery.
Right.
They also find no evidence of sexual assault, according to the autopsy. It basically says that Lindsay, so there's a blog that's somebody, I think it's a friend of Jason's, Keeps. Actually, the last entry is from September of 2020, and she posted every single year several posts. So she's just like honoring them. But anyway, according to that, that's where I got the autopsy report stuff from, that it said that Lindsay was still pure. So they knew that she hadn't been sexually assaulted on that trip.
They really are Mary and Joseph.
I know.
There's no room in the inn. My gosh.
And
they just
the couple
up and shot him in the head while they were sleeping?
This is why I'm saying it was like the worst, like one of the worst cases.
Who does that? What monster?
Mm-hmm. Well, you just wait. Just you wait. The couple was adamant about staying celibate until they got married. So they were even in 2 separate sleeping bags. Like they didn't even share their sleeping bag on the beach. So, it was good that they knew that she was still pure. So autopsies also revealed that they'd both been shot in the head with a .45 caliber Marlin rifle, which apparently is not a common caliber for rifles. I know nothing about guns. You know that. So I'm just going by what I read. It's not common caliber. And the ammunition that it uses is the same as some handguns, which I guess is unusual for a rifle. I don't know. Okay.
I think it's weird to carry a rifle around.
Well, yes, that is true. And the only leads that they have are the gunshot wounds, essentially, and a witness noticing a dark car in the area with tinted windows and a black and white decal on the car that may have been referencing evolution. And at this point, it's kind of common for her family and some people to think that they were killed because of their beliefs.
Well, like they were witnessing to people and the people got mad.
Yes, that's some of the things. So I don't know if then somebody called in and said this car that maybe had this decal, when you start thinking you're seeing things after you hear some theories, but I don't know. Anyway, that's one of the things that they have listed as a lead to go on. And
did they find their car?
Yes, her car was still there. And I said that earlier that it was like no signs of being tampered with. Her car was just parked real close by. And then another thing that they found that was close by in a small structure built of driftwood, which I kind of saw a picture, and it's basically just it looks like a little teepee made of the driftwood that would come in. There was a journal inside there that had been there for a few months prior to Jason and Lindsay arriving to that location. And people would randomly write in that little entries when they were there in that spot. How people knew to find this journal in this little teepee of driftwood, I don't know, but people did. And Jason and Lindsay were 2 of the entries in there.
Whoa.
And so they were, yes, I'm actually going to read them.
Oh.
But they were also asking for anybody that may have written in that, because it was only there for a couple of months, come talk to us if you wrote in this journal, because maybe you know something about the area that we don't. Maybe you know some weirdos that are in that area that we don't know about, blah, blah, blah. So please come talk to us. So they were asking people there. And here's what Jason and Lindsay wrote. So the first one is Lindsay's. The sun is going down on the horizon. All I see is the beams shining on the cliff face, and I know that God is awesome. I look around and I see his creation all around me. And then Jason writes, as I stir this mac and cheese, I think to myself, what a wonderful life. I've just spent 2 awesome days with my fiance, Lindsay. Can life ever be so perfect? Only with a person who is so great. God gives me the privilege in life, and he has given me a wonderful woman to enjoy it.
Oh my gosh.
Sweet are they? I mean, they're just literally just there.
Young love.
Yes,
on
in
a
love,
little
trying
adventure.
to enjoy their time on the beach. And some freaking maniac. Ugh. Okay.
Who was it?
I'll tell you. We know in this one. It's not
Good.
unsolved.
Okay, good.
So they start looking around. The police start looking for this uncommon gun. And they start narrowing it down. Well, they did narrow it down to a region of where this gun was probably bought, but that didn't really help because I feel like it was like a shop on the East Coast. So why, now they're on the West Coast. So I don't think that actually helped them. So they were literally knocking on people's doors, going door to door, looking for this gun. And they ended up taking like 100 guns into custody to send for ballistic testing to the State Department of Justice.
So like every time they found a gun that was of this type, they would just be like, we're going to need to have that now.
But I don't even know that they were all of that type. I think they were just kind of like, well, if you have a rifle, let's just take it because maybe we're wrong on the type. I don't know. I mean, I don't know how they would be wrong on the type, but because I can't imagine if it's that rare that they would even get 100 guns that were the same gun.
Right.
That. So, and they never did find it. So any of the guns that they took were not any of the ones they were looking for. So there was also initially a $10,000 reward that was offered. And this is like not even a fact that anybody needs to know, but it was Governor Schwarzenegger who increased it to $50,000.
I just had to mention
yes, Arnold Schwarzenegger. I just had to mention
Terminator.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Cool.
He increased it to 50,000 because they just were determined to find out like who would kill this couple that knew nobody, was causing no harm to anybody on this beach. So they have thousands of leads that come in, and they follow anything that actually like proves to be something that's legitimate. But years go by and they just always come up with nothing. And then in 2006, they come out with more evidence, and I'm not clear. It is not clear why they held on to this evidence. I'm pretty sure it's never stated why they held on to it until 2006, but they had found a hat at the site, and also that didn't seem to be owned. I guess it probably wasn't like with their belongings. It was kind of like off to the side. And then they found a Camo beer bottle, which is a beer that's made in Wisconsin and not very common in that area, but could be found in a couple of like little specialty stores. So these are two things that they come out and mention. I don't really know why they mention it. And I don't
DNA from both of those things.
Right. But they also don't know that
matters because
clearly
there's no DNA connected to them, but
yeah, exactly. It just would be like, okay, maybe this is because they don't know that it's even connected to the killer. It's just, it was in the area and so I don't know why they held on to it. And I don't know why they chose to like bring this up now, but they do. Initially they had a couple of suspects that popped up, but they either cleared them or just can't link them to the murders in the end anyways. One of them, this is where it's going to get crazy, was a 20-year-old man from Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin. Okay. Chippewa Falls. Hold on to that because that's where my husband went to school.
My eyes are humongous.
And that's crazy because Chippewa Falls is just a tiny town. So it must have been like this huge deal that this kid's being linked to this somehow. And the other crazy part of this is that this kid's mother is a teacher at Chippewa Middle School, and Emery had her as a teacher for his entire time.
So did he know about this? Did he know that the kid
didn't know. What? No, he didn't. I mean, he wouldn't have been there then.
Before today? And he was like...
I told him yesterday, and he was like, what? What's his mom's name? Oh my God, she was my art teacher.
Oh my gosh. She taught art?
Yeah. Yes. So there's my crazy connection to my husband. That was like, what? Anyway. So, all right. This guy's name is Nicholas Scarseth. And he knew that name. As soon as I said it, he knew the name. He couldn't picture him, but he knew the name.
Okay.
And he was in California at the time, and he had been ticketed on the 18th, just a couple of days after the murder, for skateboarding downtown near Fort Bragg, which I was so confused because there's a Fort Bragg in
North Carolina.
But Fort Bragg. And that's apparently 2.5 miles north, not 2.5 miles, 2.5 hours north of where Jason and Lindsay were found.
Okay, so you're saying that this guy was 2.5 hours north of where they were actually found, which would have been 6.5 hours from where they're originated from.
Yes. So it doesn't make a whole lot of sense for that. But anyway,
that seems pretty random. But the beer was from Wisconsin.
I know, right?
So that's
beer
weird.
was Wisconsin beer. So I think maybe there was just like lots of little things happening. So, however, this guy only had minor offenses, like in Wisconsin, basically for stealing alcohol from like local stores. Gordy's being one of them, which is the grocery store that I go to when I'm there. Well, and that his parents.
Gordy's, that's cute. I've never heard of it.
Oh, really?
No.
So, but I mean, you're stealing liquor. You're nothing crazy, nothing that makes you jump to murder, as far as I'm concerned. And his parents were also surprised by all of this because they're like, yeah, he's like a troublemaker and has an addiction, but he's not a violent person. So I don't.
And she's like, I'm an art teacher.
Right, I'm an art teacher. What's going on?
Art teachers are different. They just are.
Yeah, that's true. So he ends up passing a polygraph, and they realize that the tip that was called in was kind of unreliable because they described Jason as having a beard, which when you see pictures, most of the pictures do. He has this like distinctive beard, but at the time that he died, he didn't have the beard. So they're like, well, this is an unreliable tip.
They probably just looked him up online and assumed he still had a beard.
Exactly.
He shaved for the wedding.
Oh, that could be a possibility. So between passing the polygraph and realizing this tip isn't great, they decide, okay, fine. Like this, he didn't do it. So they release this guy. And also one really cool thing that happened was that the police flew to Wisconsin to apologize to his parents in person for dragging their son's name into this like horrific thing. Like,
wow.
How do you, the cops, I've been totally impressed by the cops in this case in general. Like, love them.
Nice. Okay.
I mean, one
in the Terminator.
And the Terminator. And Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I'd be box.
So the police also are looking into this man named Sean Gallen, who had been picked up on an unrelated weapons charge within days of the shooting in the area, much closer in the same county as Lindsay and Alan, or you had me calling Alan now, where Lindsay and Jason were found. He was somewhat of a loner, recluse, whatever type person. And family and people that knew him kind of suspected that he had something to do with it. And
weird.
Yeah. Well,
that's
because
so random.
I know. Why would you just assume? Like, I don't know that my kids could do anything. I'd be like, well, they must have killed that person.
I bet that was my kid.
Yeah, I bet my kid did that. So, but these people were telling them that he had been killing animals for years, like harpooning seals, shooting cows. And
I'm sorry, harpooning seals?
I know, right?
That's not low key. That is not casually killing animals. That is wild. What?
Maybe that's the reason they thought that he may have had something to do with it.
Oh my.
So they go and search his property for this rifle, clearly, but nothing comes up. But they did find lots of ammunition. And I'm quoting this because there was no way that I could have not said this exact line. Copious amounts of blood in the bathroom with dead animals, including a cut up shark in his fridge and a wild turkey in the trash can. This guy, cuckoo. Like, but they had nothing to.
You can't eat wild turkeys, in all fairness.
Well, I mean, that's why I was in the trash can. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. You can eat sharks, but you cannot eat a wild turkey.
Yeah. So, anyway, he's got all this crap in his house.
And he just left the blood in the bathroom?
Yes.
What is happening?
He's a strange character. But they couldn't link him because they had no gun. They had no, there was no blood from Lindsay and Jason. So they're like, well, I don't think he did it. Like, yeah, he's wacko, but I don't think he did it. So he gets let go.
He's definitely killed somebody, though.
I wouldn't be surprised. So they start looking into all these, like a couple of other murders in like Arizona in the Tucson and Scottsdale area, because there was similar victims like at campsites, and they would just be like a couple that got shot in the head. But again, they had 0 suspects in Arizona. And so it was like, yes, we can try and link them and we can try and like join forces, but we still have nothing to go on.
It's like a new age Zodiac.
Yeah.
You know, like the Lover's Lane killers and all that.
I'm not going to lie. There was a theory that the Zodiac killer was the person who did this.
Wow. Wouldn't that be crazy? Oh my
but
God.
I didn't really delve into it because it was kind of like a kind of conspiracy theory. But anyway, then there was also a man named Joseph Burgess. And he had moved to Vancouver Island in 1972 because he was fleeing the States for failing to report for the Army. And he was known to have issues with religion and people who seemed to be like hypocrites about their religion. My guess is that he grew up like real Christian and like just didn't like people like that. And
got scorned somehow.
So another Christian couple sleeping on the beach in Radar Beach. It was Radar Beach up in Canada in 1972. So this is 30-something years before. He didn't feel they were right for sleeping on the beach in the same sleeping bag. So he shot and killed them on the beach.
Okay.
So 32 years before. So, and then he disappeared, literally dropped
They never
off the
caught him? They knew that he did it and never...
Oh, hold on.
Okay.
Yeah. No, they didn't. At that time, no. Totally dropped off the radar. They had no idea, but they knew it was him because of like things that he had said to other people and whatever. And then I think they linked his gun. Maybe he left it. I don't know. I didn't really look into that case. I should have, but they knew it was him. He drops off the radar. So now they're thinking, maybe this guy popped back up again. And here he is killing Jason and Lindsay on the beach for the same reasons. So in 2009, they end up tracking him down in New Mexico. But when they attempt to apprehend them, he's killed in a shootout on July 16th, 2009. And they test his DNA, and it proves not to be a match with any of the evidence that they had on file for Jason and Lindsay's case.
Well,
so now they're back at square one. Isn't it crazy? All of these like different people. Are you pouring more wine? I know, right? This one is
I'm
like
telling you, I don't know who. I mean, I picked that guy.
You picked that guy? I would have picked. My money would have been on that guy too. And
could be just
I don't know
because of your storytelling, though,
or all the wine you have.
Definitely the story. Who does that? Who shoots somebody and then runs and then never commits another crime ever? Nobody does that. He definitely. Okay. I'm listening.
I'm gonna answer. I'm gonna have the answers for you.
Okay.
It's just taken me a bit to get there because I got to tell you about all these random people.
Okay. Is there more? Okay.
So no, I think that's the last guy. So years go by. Years. I'm talking years. And police are just following any random leads that come up to them. And then on March 24th, 2017.
Whoa.
So
okay.
13 years after. Yes. 13
oh my gosh,
years
this
after.
poor family had no idea what was happening. Okay.
No. And they're like salt of the earth people. They're amazing. Everything I read about them and all statements that I read of them, amazing people. So in 2017, Sean Gallen, remember him, crazy animal killer.
The seal harpooner?
Yes. The loner was apprehended and arrested for murdering his brother Seamus. Yes.
Seamus. Okay.
Seamus and Sean. St. Paddy's Day. Whoa. What are the chances of us recording on St. Paddy's Day and have two people named Seamus and Sean?
Is Seamus Irish?
I'm pretty sure it is.
I don't know what that is.
It's very Irish, actually.
Got it.
But
I mean, I know
anyway.
Sean is, but okay.
So, according to the reports that I read, he said he killed his brother because Seamus held a grudge against him from an incident that they had when they were kids, and Sean punched Seamus. And so Seamus is still mad about that. And so Sean's like, well, I gotta kill him. So he shoots him.
What?
Yeah. Crazy.
Was it 45 caliber?
No, it was an assault. It
Oh.
was an assault, like an AR-15 or something like that with this one.
What? Okay.
So while he's in custody for this crime, he lets authorities know that he wants to talk about the murders of Jason and Lindsay.
Wow.
He's like, I got some more information. And he provides them with information that only a killer would know. And he gives them the location of evidence located in a blackberry thicket on the side of a road in Guerneville. I think that's how you say that, which is about 20 minutes from where Jason and Lindsay were murdered. He had hidden the shell casings in that thicket. There was like a pile of like 7 shell casings. Now, clearly, he didn't use 7 rounds to kill them, but he had 7. So I don't know where those other ones were from, who else he killed and hid them. But these were a match for the shell casings.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
He explained to police that he had killed them because he saw them sleeping on the beach and there was a clear sign saying that it was prohibited. So he just killed them out of spite. Like, shouldn't have been doing it. So boom, boom. He shot Jason first and it woke Lindsay up, but he shot her pretty quickly after that. Like, not enough time for her to like move and try and get away.
Can you imagine?
No. Mm-mm. No. You gotta be real sick human being for this. He picked up the shell casings and even briefly considered taking the bullets out of their heads so there wouldn't be any evidence, but decided not to and just drove away and then hid the shell casings in that thicket.
Why did he confess?
I guess he just figured, well, I'm on for death. Well, he's crazy. He's also very crazy.
So does that make him a serial killer?
Well, I guess, isn't that
3? With the cooling
off?
off period.
Yeah.
Between that and his brother.
Very true. Very, very true.
So he had never even spoken to them, had absolutely that is the scariest freaking crap I have. My kids can never grow up.
Nope. Do not camp on the beach. Don't camp on the
or
beach.
leave my home place. Don't leave my bubble.
I know. Because there's messed up people out there. So, according to Sean, when he was arrested back in 2004 for the unrelated weapons charge, he had already burned the sandals that he was wearing when he killed them. And he had called his dad from prison to ask him to get rid of the guns on his property before the police searched it. So his dad helped him essentially get away with this crime. He didn't say why. He just said, go get rid of my guns, because he wasn't supposed to have guns, I guess. But he didn't tell his dad why. He just said, go get rid of them.
I think if anybody calls you and says, go get rid of my guns, your reaction should always be, what did you do?
Right. Why? Tell me why. Before I get involved.
And also no.
What are you dragging
And also
me into?
no, I will not. Yes.
Yeah. So, sadly, although he did help him get away with this, but his dad committed suicide in 2013.
Oh,
and
no.
According to Sean, he believes it was because of his suspicion of the connection between those murders. Because he's like, I never told him. I never admitted it to him. But I think he thought that I was involved. And so
he has had a lot of victims.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure. There has to be. So, and he's had quite a sordid past too. His dad tried to get him therapy when he was younger because he feared he would hurt his brother, which he ends up killing him how many years later. But his mother wouldn't allow the social worker in the home. So they had to try and meet like outside of the home. And then she would note, but it didn't last very long. And she noted all these like odd behaviors and like poor hygiene at the time. But like his mom was totally against it. So it was hard to get.
How old was he at this time?
I don't know. Honestly, it didn't really say a time frame. It just said when he was younger.
Why wouldn't she let him in? Gosh. Okay.
I don't know. The stigma of like, there's nothing wrong with my kid. I don't know. Just being in denial. I don't know. I don't know. Because there wasn't a whole lot of information of the mom out there. Sean also says that in like sometime when he was younger, like his teenage years or maybe even early 20s, he took a huge amount of LSD. I don't know when or for what reason, and then he was never the same mentally since that. So basically he's blaming all of this on like a huge amount of LSD.
What about the seals? Huh?
Yeah, right. Exactly. The seals, the sharks, the wild turkey. Also, in 2004, just before he murders Jason and Lindsay, he left a package bomb on top of a Honda Accord parked outside of a house in Monte Rio that was shared by a couple. And there's the names of the couple, but I don't think it's important. But anyway, the bomb exploded and hurt the wife or the woman in the relationship. And apparently there was no arrests in that, but he confesses that was him during this time. So
and he did that because?
No idea. Literally no idea.
What what happened to him?
You want? I'm getting there. Okay. I'm almost there.
Is he
in
alive?
August? So in August, he kills Lindsay and Jason, and then in January of 2009, he fires an arrow from his like bedroom window into a random like vehicle and like injures a man inside of a vehicle.
What in the crap is happening with this man? Does he live alone?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And authorities surround his apartment for 30 hours, but somehow he slips away and eludes arrest until March of 2009. So for 3 months, he eludes arrest where he turned himself in.
Oh my gosh. I don't.
So he does spend 3 years in prison for assault with a deadly weapon in 2009 sometime, blah, blah, blah. In March of 2017, he shoots his brother and then gets caught. So in July of 2019, Sean pleads no contest. He's like, told y'all what I did. I did it all. This is how I did it. Blah, blah, blah. No contest. To 3 counts of first-degree murder and 1 count of attempted murder, which I'm thinking is the arrow or the bomb. I guess it could be the bomb too. I don't know which one it was. But he avoids the death penalty because
probably the arrow because they knew it was him, I would imagine.
Yeah,
the bomb he just confesses to, and they're like, well, we would never have known about that. Right. But the arrow, they definitely knew it was him.
Yeah, that's probably true. You're probably right. So he avoids the death penalty because he pleads no contest. And he was sentenced to 3 life sentences without the possibility of parole. So that's what happened to him. And it was 13 years before Jason and Lindsay's parents had any answers. And like I said, anything I read about them, they have this huge faith in God, and that's what's gotten them through this horrific time. And like, they're super forgiving in everything that they say. And there's just no way. I reached out to the person who suggested this case and like mentioned that. And she was like, even saying like, there's no way you could be that forgiving without that faith. And I don't even know that. And I have that faith, but I don't know that I have it to the point where I could be that.
If it was your kids. Yeah. Yes. Oh my gosh.
Oh, and random too. The detective that was like kind of on the case the entire, like throughout the whole thing, essentially, he like wanted nothing to do with religion or like God or whatever. And at the 2-year memorial service at the camp that they worked at, they had a camp for a memorial service for them. He accepted God into his life at that memorial service because he had been working with that family for 2 years and like saw firsthand like what it was like to have that kind of faith. And so anyway, so that was just a kind of cool little outtake from that story.
Wow.
It's horrible.
So they're still making an impact on the world, and they will forever, because that's crazy sad.
Isn't it? And how many different like turns it took like to get where they were. And they had him within days. But it took 13 years to actually connect him.
Wow.
Like, ugh.
Yeah. I don't even know what to say. I feel like you were really jerking me around there.
I was, but I had to.
I was so here for that. Wow, that's extremely tragic. Young people, it just makes me so scared for, like, even if you're good, you know, like some random person could just shoot you on a beach. I mean,
I know they did not deserve it. They should be 2 individuals that are still here making a huge impact.
Yeah.
On many people's lives.
And that guy, what's his name? Scott Gallagher?
Sean
Gallen. He killed his whole family. Like, he just victimized everybody.
I don't know what
I mean,
where his mom is today.
Oh, I'm sure she's a freaking mess.
Mm-hmm.
And his brother's dead, and his dad's dead, and he will rot in prison and then hell.
Yes, for eternity.
Wow. Okay. What a suggestion, listener.
Yes, thank you.
That was great. It was a doozy indeed. And that was awful and great also. So thank you for my fix for the week.
You're welcome.
Happy Monday.
Mm-hmm.
And we hope you guys liked it and keep the suggestions coming. We really have a plethora of suggestions. Send us your stuff. Like, what are you good at? Are you good at taglines? Send us a tagline.
Yes. So
Are you
fun.
good at art? Send us art. We're going to take it all. Send us some emails. We've gotten so much love. And I tell you what, it really fills our souls and we love it so much. So please keep those coming and reaching out to us. We like engaging with you. It's our favorite thing.
Yes.
And so we want you to keep it coming. We're on all the social medias. We're on all the things. So just find us and reach out. And speaking of taglines, we have another listener tagline that we're going to play at the end of this episode. And this is actually a friend of mine from my childhood, literally. We went to elementary school together. We have been to slumber parties together. She is super, super sweet. And her name is Candace. And she is about to give y'all the what's up at the end of this episode. So keep the play button going because we're going to hear from her. And always remember, the world is scary. People suck. Hide in your closet.
And remember, the world is scary. People suck. Hide in your closet.